wonder how a weightlifter can just hold a massive weight perfectly still? Or how a sprinter literally explodes off the starting blocks? It might look like some kind of superpower, but it's all down to the incredible science of your muscular system. What's up, everyone, and welcome to Subjects Simplified. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the muscular system. We are going to break down the key principles that make all those amazing athletic feats possible, and by the end of this, you'll have a brand new appreciation for the science behind every single movement. All right, let's dive in. Every single action you see in sports, whether it's a basketball player's explosive jump for a dunk, or a powerlifter's slow, grinding, heavy lift. And yeah, even that seemingly impossible static hold you see in gymnastics, well, it all comes down to the same 3 basic principles of how your muscles work. And today, we're going to break them all down for you. So, let's start with the first big piece of the puzzle, the 3 types of muscle contraction. Basically, any move a muscle makes while it's under tension is going to fall into one of these 3 categories. First up, we've got concentric contraction. Now, this is the one you probably think of when you hear muscle contraction. It's the power phase. The muscle is generating force and it's getting shorter. Think about curling a dumbbell up towards your shoulder. That bicep bunching up, that's pure concentric power. It's the engine that creates acceleration. Next up is its total opposite, the eccentric contraction. Now, here's the cool part. The muscle is still under tension, but it's actually getting longer. So imagine lowering that same dumbbell back down, nice and slow. Your bicep is acting like a brake, controlling the weight against gravity. This controlled lengthening is absolutely crucial for preventing injuries and, believe it or not, for building some serious strength. And finally, we have the isometric contraction. Let's break down the word. Iso means same, and metric means length, so same length. Your muscle fires up and creates force, but it doesn't actually get longer or shorter. This is the secret behind our weightlifter holding that bar steady. It's also the magic behind the plank, which, let's be honest, can feel like the longest minute of your entire life. So let's do a quick recap of the 3 main moves. Concentric is for acceleration, think lifting. Eccentric is for deceleration, think lowering with control. And isometric is for stabilization, holding everything steady. Seriously, this little table right here is a perfect slide to screenshot for your exam revision. It's all right there. Okay, so now we know the types of contractions, but who is actually doing all this work? Let's zoom in a little closer and meet the team that's responsible for all the heavy lifting, your muscle fibers. So if your muscle is a sports team, what kind of players does it have on the roster? Are they all just kind of the same, or are there specialists for different jobs? Well, it turns out your muscles have a whole team of highly specialized athletes just waiting for the call to action. The absolute easiest way to wrap your head around this is with the classic sprinter versus marathoner analogy. On one hand, you have fast twitch fibers. These are your sprinters. They are incredibly powerful, super explosive, but they get tired really, really fast. Then you have your slow twitch fibers. These are your marathoners. They're not nearly as powerful, but they have unbelievable endurance. They can just go and go for hours. Okay, let's get a little more technical and check out the official team roster. Your type 1 fibers are those slow twitch marathoners. They have really high fatigue resistance, but they contract slowly, perfect for endurance events. Then you've got 2 kinds of fast twitch fibers. The type 2X are your superstar 100-meter sprinters. They are insanely fast and powerful, but they burn out in just a few seconds. And then there's the type 2A fibers, kind of like your 400 or 800-meter runners. They're a hybrid. They're fast, but they have a bit more endurance than their ex-teammates. And this chart right here shows you exactly how your body recruits these different players. When you're going for a 1-rep max squat, an absolute all-out effort, your body isn't messing around. It immediately calls up its most powerful players. You can see the huge majority of the work, 75%, is being done by those explosive type 2X fibers. The endurance guys, the type I fibers, they're barely involved, because this is a job for pure raw power, not stamina. Okay, so we've got the different contractions and we've met the different fiber types, but how does your brain actually control all this? Well, that brings us to our last topic, the single most important rule that governs this whole operation. It's called the all or none law. And yeah, while re-racking your weights is a pretty important law in the gym, this one is even more fundamental to how you actually lift them in the first place. The law itself is actually beautiful in its simplicity. I want you to think of a single muscle fiber like a light switch. When a nerve signal from your brain gets to it, if that signal is strong enough to hit a certain threshold, boom, The fiber contracts with 100% of its force. It's all the way on. But if the signal is too weak, nothing happens. The light stays off. There's no dimmer switch here. There's no 50% effort. It is all or it is none. So let's just walk through it real quick. Your brain decides, okay, lift. It sends an electrical signal zipping down a nerve. That one nerve connects to a group of muscle fibers. If that signal is strong enough, all the fibers connected to that nerve fire at their maximum capacity. Boom, instantly. No half measures, no exceptions. And this, right here, this is the crucial point, the big takeaway from all of this. So how do you lift a really heavy weight versus a light one? Well, you don't make individual fibers contract harder. They literally can't. They're already giving 100%. Instead, your brain just recruits more muscle fibers to the party. Lifting something light might only need a few hundred fibers to turn on. Lifting something heavy requires your brain to send a massive signal, activating thousands upon thousands of them. And that's pretty much it. Let's boil it all down into one final cheat sheet. First, muscles have 3 moves: shortening concentrically, lengthening eccentrically, or holding isometrically. Second, you have a whole team of fibers, from your endurance marathoners to your explosive sprinters. And third, the whole show is run by the all or none law. Strength isn't about making fibers try harder, it's about recruiting more of them to the job. So there you have it. You now know the fundamental rules of the game that govern how your muscles work. The only question left is, how are you going to use this knowledge to train a little smarter, or maybe just see sports in a completely new light? Hey, if this video helped simplify your studies, please do us a favor and hit that like and subscribe button for the Subjects Simplified channel. We've got way more in-depth content coming your way. Thanks for watching.